Hello and welcome to part 7 of Unit 2, 6th Standard English. We will begin with the assignment that were given to you in the last class. The activity was to find out the rhyming words from this poem. This poem goes by the name The Swing, and the activity was to write a word and pair it up with its rhyming word. So here they are. Swing and thing are a pair of rhyming words. The last sound, ing, that is what rhymes. Swing and thing. In both of these words, the sound ing is the same. They have similarity in pronunciation. Let's check what's the rhyming word of the word blue. Blue and do. Can you say it with me? Blue, do. Are the spellings same? Or do they have any similarity at all? They don't. BLUE എന്ന സ്പെല്ലിങ്ങും DO എന്ന സ്പെല്ലിംഗ് തമ്മിൽ ഒരു ബന്ധവുമില്ല. Even though we are calling them rhyming words because they sound alike. Wall and all. Wide, countryside. Wide and countryside. Green, again. These are not proper rhyming words. We are including them in the list because the end sound is similar in both of these words. Finally, brown and down. That is all. You should copy these pair of rhyming words to your notebooks. Here we have a question. What is it? Sometimes you have to face many struggles and obstacles. Obstacles, tadasangal. Who will help you in such situations? We know the Raja's story. Raja's story is where Raja's uncle was the person who helped Raja in that difficult situation. So Raja had his uncle. What about Cinderella? We know that Cinderella story. We have a fairy. ഒരു ഫെയറി ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, ഗോഡ് മദർ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു സിൻഡ്രല്ലയെ സഹായിക്കാനായിട്ട്. ബട്ട് ഇൻ റിയൽ ലൈഫ്, ശരിക്കുള്ള ജീവിതത്തിൽ, can we expect such fairies to help us? It is not possible, isn't it? It's our real world. Fairies does not exist. Let's see what the doggo has to say. There are some people in our society who raised their voice for their rights and also for bringing about positive changes in the society. സമൂഹത്തിൽ നല്ല കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുന്ന കുറേ ആളുകളുണ്ട്, അവരുടെ അവകാശങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടി ശബ്ദമുയർത്തിയവർ. മലാല യൂസഫ്സായ് is one among them. She is the girl who stood up for education and suffered for that. Let's read the speech of Malala, which she delivered at the UN General Assembly. Before going to this part of our chapter, we will be taking a look at the story of Malala in the form of a cartoon. As we found earlier, Malala is a girl from our neighboring country, Pakistan, the place called Swat Valley. Swat എന്ന് വരെ താഴ്വരയിൽ താമസിച്ചിരുന്ന പാകിസ്ഥാനിലുള്ള ഒരു പെൺകുട്ടിയാണ്. She fought for the equal right of women for education. So let's try to read and understand what Malala's story is through this cartoon. Here you can see a girl in pink scarf. This is Malala. I want every girl, every child to be educated. ഇത് മനസ്സിലായെന്ന് ഞാൻ വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. So here Malala and her friends are going to the school. The school van is waiting for them. Here Malala enters the school van. I think I am explaining too much. So from the next picture onwards, you should try to understand from the picture itself. I have the right to education. I have the right to play. I have the right to sing. What is the text written here in this bigger image? It's scree. It simply is the sound of the vehicle applying brakes. Brake പിടിക്കുമ്പോഴുള്ള ശബ്ദത്തെ അങ്ങനെ സൂചിപ്പിച്ചിരിക്കുകയാണ്. Let's look at the expression of the driver here, the facial expression. And what about Malala and her friends? They have found something interesting. Is it interesting? Let's find out. Oh, somebody is there in front of the vehicle, and whoever that person is has covered his face using some sort of a turban, and he is holding something in his hand. കയ്യിലെന്തോ പിടിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. It's a gun, we know that. And they are asking which one of you is Malala. And the remaining part of the story is a disturbing thing. That is why I have not included it here. ഇതിനെ തുടർന്നുള്ള ഭാഗം കുറച്ച് വിഷമമുണ്ടാക്കുന്നതാണ്, അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാനതിൽ ഉൾപ്പെടുത്തിയിട്ടില്ല. Malala was shot in her head simply because she was a person who works for the rights of the women. Taliban is a religious militant group which does not support the education of women. That is why Malala is being shot by them. Speak up, otherwise I will shoot you all. Here, look at Malala, what she is doing. The lesson we are going to learn today is a pretty long one, so please be patient. The name of the speech is One Child, One Teacher, One Pen, and One Book Can Change the World. This is the photo of Malala Yousafzai. Respected elders and my dear brothers and sisters, today it is an honor for me to be speaking again after a long time. Being here with such honorable people is a great moment in my life. I don't know where to begin my speech. I don't know what people would be expecting me to say. But first of all, thank you God, for whom we all are equal, and thank you to every person who has prayed for my fast recovery and a new life. I cannot believe how much love people have shown me. I have received thousands of good wish cards and gifts from all over the world. Thank you to all of them. Thank you to the children whose innocent words encouraged me. Thank you to my elders whose prayers strengthened me. Dear brothers and sisters, do remember one thing. Malala Day is not my day. Today is the day of every woman, every boy, and every girl who have raised their voice for their rights. Malala Dinam എൻ്റെ ദിനമല്ല, സ്വന്തം അവകാശങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടി ശബ്ദിച്ച എല്ലാവരുടെയും ദിനമാണ്. There are hundreds of human rights activists and social workers who are not only speaking for human rights but who are struggling to achieve their goals of education, peace, and equality. Thousands of people have been killed by the terrorists and millions have been injured. I am just one of them. കുറേ ആളുകൾ തീവ്രവാദികളാൽ കൊല്ലപ്പെട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ അത്തരത്തിൽ ഒരാൾ മാത്രമാണ്. Dear sisters and brothers, we realize the importance of light when we see darkness. We realize the importance of our voice when we are silenced. നമുക്ക് വെളിച്ചത്തിൻ്റെ വില മനസ്സിലാകുന്നത് നമ്മൾ ഇരുട്ടിലാകുമ്പോഴാണ്. നമ്മുടെ ശബ്ദത്തിൻ്റെ വില മനസ്സിലാകുന്നത് നമ്മളെ നിശബ്ദരാക്കുമ്പോഴാണ്. In the same way, when we were in SWAT, the north of Pakistan, we realized the importance of pens and book when we saw the guns. This wise saying, the pen is mightier than the sword, was true. Mightier, stronger, strong, ശക്തിയുള്ള. പെന്നിനാണ് ശക്തി കൂടുതൽ വാളിനേക്കാൾ. The extremists are afraid of books and pens. എക്സ്ട്രീമിസ്റ്റ് എന്ന് ഇവിടെ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് നേരത്തെ തോക്ക് പിടിച്ച് നിൽക്കുന്ന ആളുകളെയാണ്. The power of education frightens them. They are afraid of women. The power of the voice of women frightens them. Honorable Secretary General, peace is necessary for education. വിദ്യാഭ്യാസത്തിന് സമാധാനം ആവശ്യമാണ്. In many parts of the world, terrorism, wars, and conflicts stop children from going to school. കുട്ടികളെ സ്കൂളുകളിലേക്ക് പോകാനായിട്ട് ടെററിസം, അതുപോലെ തീവ്രവാദം, അങ്ങനെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഒന്നും അവരെ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് വിദ്യാഭ്യാസം നൽകാനായിട്ട് എതിരെ നിൽക്കുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങളാണെന്ന് പറയുന്നു. We are really tired of these wars. Women and children are suffering in many parts of the world in many ways. Many innocent and poor children are victims of child labor. Child labor, കുട്ടികളെ ജോലി എടുപ്പിക്കുക, ബാലവേല അങ്ങനെ എടുപ്പിക്കുന്നു എന്ന് പറയുന്നു. Young girls have to do domestic child labor and are forced to get married at an early age. Poverty, ignorance, injustice, racism, and the deprivation of basic rights are the main problems faced by both men and women. ആണുങ്ങളും പെണ്ണുങ്ങളും പുരുഷന്മാരും സ്ത്രീകളും അനുഭവിക്കുന്ന പ്രശ്നങ്ങളാണ് ഇവിടെ പറയുന്നത്. പോവർട്ടി, ദാരിദ്ര്യം, ഇഗ്നറൻസ്, അറിവില്ലായ്മ, ഇൻജസ്റ്റിസ്, നീതി ലഭിക്കാതിരിക്കുക, റേസിസം, വംശപരമായിട്ടുള്ള മോശമായിട്ട് പെരുമാറുന്നതിനെയാണ് റേസിസം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഡിയർ ഫെലോസ്, today I am focusing on women's rights and girls' education because they are suffering the most. There was a time when women social activists asked men to stand up for their rights. But this time, we will do it by ourselves. I am not telling men to step away from speaking for women's rights. Rather, I am focusing on women to be independent to fight for themselves. സ്ത്രീകൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് പുരുഷന്മാർ സംസാരിക്കുന്നതിനെ പറ്റിയിട്ട് പറയുന്നു. പക്ഷേ സ്ത്രീകൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് പുരുഷന്മാർ സംസാരിക്കുന്നതിനേക്കാൾ കൂടുതൽ സ്ത്രീകൾ സ്വയം മുന്നോട്ട് വരിക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് മലാല പറയുന്നത്. Dear sisters and brothers, now it's time to speak up. We call upon the world leaders that all the peace deals must protect women and children's rights. A deal that goes against the dignity of women and their rights is unacceptable. We call upon all the governments to ensure free, compulsory education for every child all over the world. കുട്ടികൾക്ക് സൗജന്യമായിട്ടുള്ള വിദ്യാഭ്യാസം കൊടുക്കാനായിട്ട് പറയുകയാണ്. ലോകത്തുള്ള എല്ലായിടത്തും അങ്ങനെ സംഭവിക്കണമെന്ന് പറയുകയാണ്. We call upon all governments to fight against terrorism and violence to protect children from brutality and harm. കുട്ടികൾക്കെതിരെയുള്ള ക്രൂരത, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഉപദ്രവം എന്നിവയ്ക്കെതിരെ ഒക്കെ നിങ്ങൾ ഗവൺമെൻറ്റുകൾ പ്രവർത്തിക്കണമെന്ന് പറയുന്നു. We call upon the developed nations to support the expansion of education opportunities for girls in the developing world. വികസിത രാജ്യങ്ങൾ, അതായത് കൂടുതൽ സമ്പത്തുള്ള രാജ്യങ്ങൾ സമ്പത്തില്ലാത്ത രാജ്യങ്ങളെ സഹായിക്കണമെന്ന് പറയുന്നു വിദ്യാഭ്യാസത്തിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്. We call upon all communities to be tolerant, to reject prejudices based on caste, creed, religion or gender, to ensure freedom and equality for women so that they can flourish. We cannot all succeed when half of us are held back. We call upon our sisters around the world to be brave, to embrace the strengths within themselves and realize their full potential. Dear brothers and sisters, we want schools and education of every child's bright future. We will continue our journey to our destination of peace and education for everyone. No one can stop us. We will speak for our rights and we will bring change through our voice. We must believe in the power and strength of our words. Our words can change the world because we are all together united for the cause of education. And if we want to achieve our goal, then let us empower ourselves with the weapon of knowledge and let us shield ourselves with unity and togetherness. Dear brothers and sisters, we must not forget that millions of people are suffering from poverty, injustice, and ignorance. We must not forget that millions of children are out of schools. We must not forget that our sisters and brothers are waiting for a bright, peaceful future. So let us wage a global struggle against illiteracy, poverty, and terrorism, and let us pick up our books and pens. അതായത് വിദ്യാഭ്യാസമില്ലായ്മ, അക്ഷരാഭ്യാസമില്ലായ്മ, ദാരിദ്ര്യം ഇവയ്ക്കൊക്കെതിരെ ഒരു യുദ്ധം നമുക്ക് നയിക്കാമെന്ന് പറയുകയാണ്. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതിനെതിരെ നമുക്ക് പ്രവർത്തിക്കാമെന്ന് പറയുകയാണ്. നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ പുസ്തകങ്ങളും പേനകളും കയ്യിലെടുക്കാം. They are our most powerful weapons. One child, one teacher, one pen and one book can change the world. Education is the only solution. Education first. So this was the speech of Malala. Now I am going to give you some multiple choice question, which simply means out of these 3 options you have to choose the correct answer. So whichever completes this sentence, you have to choose that. Malala Day is the day of Malala herself, United Nations organization, every woman, every boy and every girl who have raised their voice for their rights. Which one of these is the correct answer? നിങ്ങൾ നേരത്തെ കേട്ട ആ സ്പീച്ചിൽ നിന്നും ഉള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കിക്കൊണ്ട് ഇതിലേതാണ് ഉത്തരമെന്ന് പറയാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുക. If you are ready, I will show you the correct answer. I will remove the other two options which are wrong. So let's see which one is the correct answer. So this is the answer. Malala Day is the day of every woman, every boy and every girl who have raised their voice for their rights. So moving on to the next question. According to Malala, one of our powerful weapon is, here are the options, the sword, the pen or the gun. Which is the correct answer? Can you make a guess? Uhikamo? You are right. The pen is a powerful weapon. Pen is mightier than the sword. Here is another one. Malala is focusing on women's right and girls' education because, these are the options. Choose the correct one. They are suffering the most. You may find this activity in your textbook as well. You should do that in the textbook accordingly. Malala speaks for herself. Here are the other options. The correct answer is not for herself, but for all boys and girls. This is the second activity related to Malala's lesson, Malala's chapter. So what you need to do is, here on the left side you can see the quotes of some world famous people. Here is the first one by Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. On the other hand, here on the right side we have certain quotes by Malala. Malala പറഞ്ഞ കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഇവിടെയും പ്രസിദ്ധരായിട്ടുള്ള ലോകപ്രസിദ്ധരായിട്ട് ചില വ്യക്തികൾ പറഞ്ഞ കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഇവിടെയുമുണ്ട്. What we need to do here is to find out a quote said by Malala which is similar to that we see here. Let us take the first example. Education is most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Out of these 4 quotes of Malala, which one is similar to this one? Well, let's find out how this works. Let's find out this one. Which one is by Vladimir Putin? Terrorism has no nationality, no religion. So which of Malala's quote has a similar meaning to this one? So that is what we are going to find out now. Let's see. This is it. We call upon all governments to fight against terrorism and violence. Here is what you have to do. Write the names of these speakers here in the blanks. Here is the second one. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. So I want you to pause the video here and check your answers. First read all these balloons and read these bubbles as well and try to connect them with what Malala said, and then you can play the video to find out the correct answers. Let's check the answers now. We call upon our sisters around the world to embrace the strength within themselves. This Harriet Tubman here says about the strength. Malala here also says about the strength. I hope you can find out the remaining 2 by Mandela and George Carlin. You may connect them and write it in your textbook. Here is another activity. This is in the form of a puzzle. We have seen this kind of puzzles in children's magazine and all. What you need to do here is to start from here and reach Malala. You have to go through the correct path to reach Malala by choosing the correct statements which Malala said. Some of these statements are not said by Malala. Let us find out how it works. So here is us. Here we are starting from here, and here we have 2 options. Malala Day is my day. We realize the importance of light when we see darkness. Which of these is a statement by Malala? We clearly know that Malala Day is my day is a wrong statement, and we have to move here. We move there, and then we have 2 options. What are they? Our words can't change the world, and this to the right side we have a well, an abandoned well. It's dangerous to go there, and we know that both of these are not correct. Our words can't change the world. നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ വാക്കുകൾ മാറ്റില്ല ലോകത്തിനെ എന്നാണ് പറയുന്നത്. അത് തെറ്റാണ്. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ രണ്ടും തെറ്റാണെന്നുള്ളതുകൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് we cannot go left, we cannot go right either. So what should we go? We should go to the straight road and we will reach there. Peace is necessary for education. That is correct. And then we have, after that we have how many options? 2 options here. What are they? A deal that goes against the dignity of women. That is one. And sword is mightier than the pen is the other one. വാളിന് പേനയേക്കാൾ ശക്തി ഉണ്ടെന്ന് പറയുന്നത് തെറ്റാണ്. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ മുകളിലൂടെ പോകുന്നു. Then we reaches here. And yet we have how many options? 2 options are there. I speak for myself. One child, one book, one teacher can change the world. Which one is correct? I speak for myself is wrong. And finally we are here meeting Malala. This activity is there in your textbook as well. I hope you liked the animation that I did here to make it more clear for you. So let's move on. Page 67, activity 3 is what we just did now. Please complete it. Here is an editing activity. Our emoji is ready to help us and he will give you some instructions. Let us find out what they are. Editing is simply correcting the underlined words, writing the correct form of the underlined words here. So let's read and try to understand what this is. Once upon a time, there lived a lovely princess with fair skin and blue eyes. The word princess is underlined. And what is our emoji saying? Emoji enda parayunnathu spelling. What is the spelling here? There is something wrong with the spelling. You have to correct it. I'm not going to give away the word to you. You have to find out. And her mother dies when Snow White was a baby and her father married again. The story is somewhat similar to Cinderella's story, isn't it? Her mother dies when Snow White was a baby. This is something which happened in the past. നടന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞ ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. അപ്പോൾ എന്താണുള്ളത്? Tense form. Is the tense form correct? Let's take another word, for example. കളിച്ചു. ഞാൻ ഇന്ന് രാവിലെ കളിച്ചു എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് I played എന്നാണ് പറയേണ്ടി വരിക. അതുപോലെ dies is not a correct form of the verb to denote something that has already happened. സംഭവിച്ച കാര്യത്തെ പറയാൻ dies എന്ന് ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അതെന്താണെന്ന് നിങ്ങൾ ആലോചിക്കുക. This queen was pretty but she was very cruel also. The wicked stepmother wanted to be the more beautiful lady. More beautiful lady. What's wrong with this more beautiful lady? Here we are looking for a problem in more beautiful. Here it is used in a comparative form. Let us try to use that in an example in a sentence. Atul is tall. Amit is taller than Atul. Manu is the tallest. I hope the idea is clear. So here you need to make a similar change to make it correct. So let's move on to this one, which is a statement here. Let's find out if it is a statement or something else. Who is the fairest of them all? Here is a question that the lady asks the magic mirror. Who is the fairest of them all? What kind of punctuation mark do we use at the end of a question? Is it a period or is it something else? You should try to find it out. And then we can go to the other one, which is what a fair lady is Snow White. Let's read it one more time. What a fair lady is Snow White. Here something is wrong with the word order. And finally, dear, D-E-A-R. You may read the passage clearly and try to understand the meaning of it. Then you will understand it better and you will be able to find the correct usage of the correct word here. Is this the intended word? He killed a deer and took its heart. Which is the correct word here? That we need to use the word which denotes the animal. See, here are the questions from our previous years. The passage given below has some errors, but they are not underlined. Correct those errors and edit the paragraph. These sentences are taken from our textbook, so it's very easy. Please refer your textbook and find out what errors have been committed here. This is other activity. Design an invitation card for Mother's Day. And we did this activity in our class already. And you know how an invitation card looks like. And here in brackets something is given. Include the details like whom you want to invite, where the venue is, when it will be. Other question, write a message to your mother on the occasion of Mother's Day. And here is a poem. It's the same poem from our women work, same lines from the women work. What does the poet ask the dewdrops to do? Dewdrops not endu cheyan parayunnu. Pick out a pair of rhyming words. It's an easy task. Till I can rest again. Who is the I referred here? I എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ആരെയാണ് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്? Where does the poet want to float? എവിടെയാണ് പൊങ്ങിക്കിടക്കാനായിട്ട് അവർ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നത്? And here another one. It's to write the thoughts of Cinderella. Read the question and try to answer it. And I have also prepared some worksheets for you. And the first one is about a spelling rule. Plural of a noun means more than one. The word toy means one toy. The word toys means more than one toy. Toy എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു ടോയിനെയാണ് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്, കളിപ്പാട്ടത്തെ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. ടോയ്സ് എന്നുള്ളത് കുറേയധികം ടോയ്സിനെയാണ് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. To make an English noun plural, we usually add s at the end of a noun. പക്ഷേ ചില കാര്യങ്ങളിൽ s ചേർത്തുകൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് പ്ലൂരൽ കൂടുതൽ എണ്ണം ഉള്ളതിനെ സൂചിപ്പിക്കാൻ കഴിയില്ല. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് എങ്ങനെയാണ് കണ്ടെത്തുക? ഇവിടെ മാൻ എന്നുള്ളതിനെ നമുക്ക് MEN എന്നെഴുതിയാൽ മതി. അപ്പോൾ അതുപോലെ മാൻസ് എന്ന് എഴുതാൻ പാടില്ല. മാൻസ് എന്ന് എഴുതിയാൽ അത് പ്ലൂരൽ ആവുകയില്ല. അതുപോലെ ടൂത്ത്സ് എന്നെഴുതിയാൽ അവിടെ ആവുകയില്ല. ഡൈ എന്നുള്ളത് നമുക്ക് കളിക്കാൻ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന ഡൈനെയാണ് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിൽ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഇതിനെ പ്ലൂരലാക്കുക എന്നുള്ളത് അടുത്ത ക്ലാസ്സിലേക്ക് കണ്ടെത്തി വരിക എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. And here it's yet another simple activity, a preposition. Every sentence have to have a subject and a verb. But a very good sentence has more than just a simple subject and a verb. Other kinds of words help make the sentence more exciting. A preposition can tell us more information about what is happening and when. എവിടെ എപ്പോൾ സംഭവിക്കുന്നു എന്നുള്ളതിനെ സൂചിപ്പിക്കുന്നതാണ് prepositions ഉള്ളത്. നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ ഒരു വേർഡ് ബാങ്ക് തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. to, from, in, out, on, off, for, off, by, with. So this is what you have to do. Write the correct preposition in the blanks provided here. The princess live dash the castle. Princess കാസലിൻ്റെ കോട്ടയുടെ ഉള്ളിൽ താമസിക്കുന്നു എന്ന് പറയുകയാണ്. Is it to, from, in, out, on, or which one is the correct answer here? The princess lives in the castle is the correct option, and similarly you have to find out the other ones as well for the next class. That is all for today's class. This will be the last part of our second unit. There still we raise. Please feel free to call to the given number if you have any doubts. Thank you for watching.